Good afternoon. I wanted to spend a little bit of time to talk to you a little bit about reputation. Reputation is such a key element in our business. I'd like to tell you a little bit of a story of what specifically happened to me within my child care centers about 5 years ago or so. The reason why Inspire Care 360 brings three key pillars of people, reputation and brand, and buy to the market is because we see it as just fundamental, foundational elements that support your business and your business goals. So to first start with, a quote that actually came from Jeff Bezos of all, says that reputation is all about what people say about you when you're not in the room with them. And I'd have to say that's a pretty accurate statement. As when we look at what reputation means to you and your business, oftentimes we think about simply star ratings or possibly what people think about your business. And oftentimes it feels like as business owners, we feel a little bit out of control with that. How do we have any element of managing that? That's up to everybody else, and we're just working the business. Well, it is such an amazing challenge in today's society to just work the business and be controlled by things such as the internet and internet trolls and people out on social media choosing to say what they may want to say about your business, your people, or even maybe you at a whim or for something that may not be accurate. So there's a number of different elements when you look at what is your reputation and how do you manage it. So in this brief video, I just wanted to go through and talk to you a little bit about how you should consider and think about reputation. About 5 years ago, I had a situation happen where when I took over one of my centers and started to operate it, for the first year, I allowed the business to run as normal with the existing team I had acquired with the business. I noticed that slowly but surely the business was ticking down in its numbers. But I also noticed too that there was a little bit of a click that was going on, both with staff as well as some parents who had been there for a long time. One of the elements that was being said was, don't trust the new owner. And that was actually coming from, at the time, which I didn't know, from the person who was an assistant director with the previous company who came up to be the director with this new business. Obviously, that's amazingly damaging for your business. As I started to hear and understand this, I had asked and worked with the director through training, through coaching, through conversations. I would love for her to come on board and do as well as my other centers were doing. And at first she said, oh, sure, I'll absolutely do that. Slowly but surely, I heard the same things in the background coming across to other staff members as well as to parents. And I knew that I had to start to act. So close to the end of the year, I started to work with her on a performance plan of how we could have her bring the center up to speed, reduce those clicks that were going on in the center, and really work towards a performance environment that would really support the development of our center. Well, on a given day in January of that year, she turned in her resignation, as well as the resignation of 5 other employees. And that's what I call the near-death experience of a child care business. At that point in time, I was like, how am I going to run this business? I have everybody who's in ratio. What a challenging situation. So that at that point in time didn't immediately come to mind as affecting our reputation. Yes, I started thinking about how am I going to get through this, and I can't let things slide because of our licensors and being in ratio. We have to be on this. I actually spent 2 weeks within the toddler room myself managing the toddler room, which for a 6'4" guy is a little bit of a challenge, but I was able to do it. And we started coming back and started looking at how do we recruit. But the individual who left, as well as some of the former team members and some, I guess you would say, family members or friends of theirs, decided that since we still had the business and they had worked here in a while, that it was their business. It was not ours. It wasn't my business that I had purchased about a year and a half earlier. So what they decided to do in a very blind campaign is they went online and they really smudged our name, did as much as they could to say anything they could online negative to Google, to Facebook, to Angie's List and the like. And for that reason, we had a situation occur where all of a sudden online we're getting like 1-star ratings. And I started just trying to figure out, how do we get a hold of this? How do we handle this? But further than that, there were calls that were coming into our teachers and saying negative things about how we treat staff, and also calls going into our families and saying what negative things we do. And this was coming pretty much from the staff that had left. I felt like we had a total assault going in on our business, and there was nothing I could do about it. I went as far as researching and talking to an attorney, getting a cyber sleuth involved, because they were very shifty about it. They actually didn't have it come from anybody's direct IP address from their internet. They had been going around to a Starbucks or another place and making those reviews happen where it couldn't be traced. A little sophisticated about it. But what I did learn was I had no control of my reputation. And reputation is everything in this business. Just think about it. Everything we have is independent or part of a group or part of a system of early learning centers is all about taking care of children, and it's all about trust. It's all about having faith in that center that they are doing the right thing. So if you pass a rumor around long enough, even though it's not true, it starts to become reality. What I learned at that point in time, there's really only one thing you can do about reputation, and that's for us as owners to take control of it. As part of Inspire Care 360, we've taken a hard look, and that was really one of the inventions as to why we started Inspire Care 360. For that reason, we started looking at how can we help not only ourselves, but other members really protect their reputation. And what we did is we defined reputation management as an element of a constant thing that goes throughout your business. It's not a one-time thing. It's not going in asking a couple parents, can you put up some star ratings for us? It is not going and saying to your staff, hey, I'll give you a great incentive if you refer some people to us. But what it is, it's an everyday thing that you must take control of and you must manage. To manage it, you really have to look at a model that supports the different elements or whoever are in your universe. So I'm going to share a slide with you for a second. But what this slide is likely going to show to you is what it means and how you look at reputation. So when we look at here, the early learning reputation model is about these 4 quadrants. Most often, we go after just prospective families. But what we don't do is look at our existing staff. We don't look at existing families. And oftentimes, we don't even look at prospective staff. So we're always chasing these prospective families. That's where our dollars go to for advertising. That's where our tour energy goes to. We're focused on those prospective families. Do we do a lot for existing families? Yeah, I think we do in many realms. Do we do for existing staff? Sure, a lot of us have done a lot of good things, good pay rates, good benefits. But oftentimes, what we're not looking at is the fact is those groups are our key marketing groups. Those are people who will make our business flourish for the long term, not just the short term. So if you are able to define what the reputation is with your existing staff, to define with your reputations with your existing families, those 2 elements allow you to really leverage those groups to support your marketing for both prospective families as well as prospective staff. They're amazing reference bases. There is nothing better than a reference from an existing family or an existing staff member. So only second to that is a testimonial to that. So as part of Inspire Care 360's reputation model, we have looked at what are the type of things that we can do to support you in your management and reputation. So there are a few different buckets of what we look at. First, through our reputation and brand assessment, we look at and talk to your staff and your families through surveys. And we identify what is critical to them, what is important, what do they think of when they think of you when you're not around. And we try to understand what are the key motivators for them so you have the information that you're armed with to approach them. Second to that, we look at getting you set up with what you get as part of your membership are exit interviews. Exit interviews are either for staff and or families. And this is when they leave you. Sometimes it's too late, but when they left you, they're leaving you either for a reason that they had to move on and they're very happy with your service, or they had to move on and they're not happy. And sometimes when they have to move on and they're not happy, it is simply because they did not want to tell you, or if they do tell you, sometimes you don't understand the full root cause. So one of the key elements that we do in our exit interviews is we really get to that root cause. Why are they moving on? And if it is for a negative reason, we're discovering that. For instance, in my Brockport location, I asked a director, why did this family move on that said they were moving out from us? And she said, well, according to them, they just aged out. They're happy with our services. Well, Inspire Care 360 did a reputation evaluation survey, and it came back after we talked with that family through Inspire Care 360 that they felt that the pre-K room smelled a lot like urine, and that the fact that we didn't follow up and clean it up. Now, they had only told this to the teacher. They did not want to throw the teacher under the bus to the owner. So unfortunately, they left for something that we could have controlled, but now at least we got to root cause. So unfortunately, we lost that family, but fortunately, we now understand the root cause. But the other side of that is when people leave in a positive state. So when someone does leave and says, hey, we're moving to Wisconsin, and we thank you very much for your service, we loved it here. We call from a third party and talk to them about their service. And what they do is they get back to us as a very strong testimonial saying, we loved your early learning service. We love these teachers. They were amazing. And we asked them, can our service use that as a testimonial? So whether it be on Facebook or website or be able to promote out through emails, and they're absolutely. So we do get the sign off on that. So that's what our exit interviewing process does. Further to that now, what we are bringing is Inspire Care 360 reputation management platform. This allows you monthly to look to your families and be able to solicit to them what they believe is your reputation. And then that gets promoted out to areas like Google for your star reviews, for Yelp, for Angie's List, for care.com, wherever it may be that you want them to look to. This is an additional service that we offer, but an amazing service. And as you do it, you find out one of the secrets about reputation. And that is, it's not about just getting 1, 2, or 5 star reviews. It's about consistently, month over month, taking those thoughts of all that positive goodwill you have built up with your families as well as with your staff and promoting it out there, promoting it to the general public. So when you are looking to bring prospective families in, when you're looking to bring prospective staff in, you can promote how amazing your center is, that we know a lot of our centers are. But sometimes, as they say, one person who is happy about your service may tell one person. One person who is not happy about your service may tell 13 people. The objective for here is for you to get a handle on your own reputation. And Inspire Care 360 does exactly that with our reputation management support. So if you'd like to learn more, you'll see my email address as well as contact for our sales organization just to learn more about how we support you with reputation, as well as a number of other things that we do to support the ongoing reputation development for your staff, for your families, for your prospective families, as well as your prospective staff. So I want to thank you today for taking the time. If you want to send me any emails with any questions, I would love it. And I would like to pass them on either to have Jenna or myself give you a call back and discuss those with you. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Take care.